Special report for parents of teen drivers. What you must know before you turn over the car keys. These simple 5 steps every parent should follow before turning over the keys to a teen driver. Congratulations on taking steps to help make your teen a safer driver. There are probably all kinds of thoughts going through your mind during this period of parenthood. Your innocent, young child has reached a milestone in life that brings a new freedom they have been dreaming about for the last 15-16 years. Your child's dependence on you has just been reduced tremendously. And I know you are probably a little relieved you don't have to shuffle them around all over town. But in the back of your mind, you can only hope that all your guidance will be enough to help him or her stay safe behind the wheel. But simply hoping doesn't give you peace of mind, does it? Teen drivers are 5 times more likely to get into a car accident than an experienced driver, and car accidents are the leading cause of death of teens. Almost every Monday morning when I read our local newspaper, there is a story about a teenager getting killed in an accident or killing someone else. At the time I am writing this report, there were 2 such stories of teen-related fatal accidents in my paper this morning. The first accident involved an 18-year-old that was beginning his senior year. He was a junior firefighter who was promoted to the team at his 18th birthday just a month ago. He was speeding, 65 in a 45, lost control of his car, went into a ditch, rolled his car and was killed instantly. By the way, he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. As tragic as this story is, the only blessing was no one else was involved. No one else was killed or injured. The second story involved 3 teenagers out having a good time Saturday night. The 18-year driver had been drinking and using a prescription drug called Xanax. He lost control of the car and ran off the road into an embankment. His 18-year-old girlfriend was killed. Her younger sister and a driver survived the accident with minor injuries. You may think your child is responsible and would never be involved with something this tragic. You may be right, but one simple mistake is all it takes to create a tragic car accident. He was charged with DWI, reckless driving, and other charges are pending. Most likely, manslaughter will be added. We read similar stories almost all the time. I am sure you are well aware of them. When you get down to the root of why so many teenagers cause accidents, they don't fully understand the consequences their actions can cause. One simple mistake in judgment can lead to the worst of situations. The reason why I am sharing these stories and examples of what can happen is because I have seen it happen too often during my years in this business. And I don't want it to ever happen to you, and probably no other insurance agent has ever shared this with you. The 5 steps to preventing teen driver safety. Step 1. Take a home study driving course with your teen. Studies have proven the more time spent practicing with your teen driver, the less likely it is that they will get into an accident. Let's face it, this is a new experience for them, and the skills that can take years to become habit are just not developed yet. I know they all think they can drive just as well as you, but the truth is their brains haven't fully developed yet. The hardwired reactions that took you years to build up in your brain, well, they are just getting started. As adults, we sometimes take for granted our ability to avoid and react to sticky situations. You need to realize that a teen driver doesn't have this ability. They have never had to deal with these situations. Prepare your teen for the worst so when the worst happens, they'll react properly. The only way to prepare them is to practice in a safe environment. Experts recommend a minimum of 100 hours of practice behind the wheel before allowing a new driver to drive without supervision. This time should be spent practicing a series of specific techniques to prepare the new driver for certain situations. For example, a very common mistake teen drivers make that cause accidents is overcorrecting. There are usually other factors such as speeding that help cause these accidents, but when a teen driver gets in a situation and tries to avoid a crash, they tend to overcorrect and the vehicle loses control. Have you ever found yourself veering off the road and suddenly, When you realize it, you pull the wheel too hard and then have to pull back in the other direction to get your car under control. A teen driver would never realize that this sudden action can cause the vehicle to go out of control and crash. By spending time with your teen and following a structured guide to practice specific techniques, your teen can learn in a safe environment how to avoid accidents rather than learning on the road where the dangers are real. Take time to have your teen pull off the road, over the noise markers, and then slowly correct their path to get the vehicle back on the road. Step 2. Have your teen take a safety profile assessment. Everyone has hidden traits built into their personality that others may never know about. Most people may not even know this about themselves. We tend to do things or react to things for reasons unknown to us. Your teen also has tendencies that you should be aware of. Especially, before they get behind the wheel. Why? A car can bring out certain behaviors that can cause serious damage to property and people. It is important to you, as a parent, to be aware of these possible behaviors before you hand over the car keys. These assessments are available online and are really affordable. Step 3. Install a GPS-based alert system. It has been proven that the likelihood of a child doing something wrong is greatly reduced if they know they will get caught. Let me tell you a little story about a kid I insure named Jared. While on his way back from a church retreat, the GPS system alerted his parent of his dangerous driving behavior. His father immediately called and revealed his secret to him and told him to slow down and come home immediately. Since Jared's discovery of the alert system, his father has not received an alert yet. Jared now knows that if he breaks a rule, his father will know it. Without this system, the parent would have never known about his son's behavior, unless something tragic happened. There are many systems available with a small monthly maintenance charge. Most car and truck accessory shops carry these. Step 4. Use special tools to help your teen driver become a more responsible driver. A parent-teen driving contract. Most local insurance agents have parent-teen driving contracts they will willingly share with you if you just ask them for one. They usually include an agreement section and a consequences section for a variety of behaviors behind the wheel. It'll cover things like seatbelt use, time of day, how many passengers, DUI, radio volume, etc. Pretty much all the stuff our parents never mentioned to us. By signing a contract and agreeing to the terms of the contract, you'll be setting a good expectation with your teen driver and agreeing to the consequences before getting behind the wheel. For example, if they are late getting home, they might lose 2 days of driving privileges. If they get a speeding ticket, they might lose a month or 2 of driving privileges. Step 5. Be pig-headed and determined to keep your teen driver safe, especially during the first 3 years. Don't just sit back and relax. This is only beginning. As parents, we have to realize that our teens will not become as safe drivers until they get the experience they need to avoid almost any dangerous situation on the road. This can take years, but is most critical within the first 3 years. If you would like me to help you during this trying time as a parent, call me. Once you have the tools, we can talk about how to make sure you are properly covered with a new teen driver in your household. Share this video and subscribe for more interesting auto insurance tips.